Okay, I think we're live. Check in a moment. Hello everybody, I think we're live. Just getting situated here. Welcome to East Road. We're here again with Dave Nutter.
Hello.
And we're here again by special permission in a restricted area. The parking lot, or the parking area I should say, is up here a little ways. We've walked down, we've awaited a little bit of rain, but it seems to have come and gone. And now the skies are, well, clearing a little bit. We don't know how long that'll last, but it may last the rest of the day. And now I'm going to check to see if you guys are hearing and seeing me. Oh, seeing the birds. Hold on. I think we are.
Okay.
But wait, just double checking. Yep, we're live.
Okay.
Welcome everybody.
Got an interesting non-bird sighting. I mean, it's not appropriate to start off with this.
That's okay.
Walking across the dry area out here, there is a huge snapping turtle, and it's just hiking across. Right now it is stopped, and it looks like an irregular lump. For a while it was walking. There's several killdeer in front of it, and a loose sandpiper.
Okay, let me see if I can find the turtle.
If you look towards the horizon, there's a notch which comes down at a diagonal between a couple of trees.
Okay.
Come down from that notch.
Okay, I think I know where you're... Well, there are a couple notches, but...
The one that's
sharper and shorter?
Sharper and shorter and totally diagonal.
How far out is the turtle?
Top to bottom, it's about in the middle of the tan area. So there's purple loosestrife above and below, but it's in a place where it's just mud.
Okay.
And now it's moving slowly to the right.
I still don't see it. Well, you mentioned the killdeer. There, I see some, or at least I saw one come for landing just a moment ago. You know, I'm gonna
lined up with my scope.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay. Oh. All right. Let me look with binoculars, and maybe that'll help me. Beyond this thick patch of loosestrife?
Yes, beyond this wide band of close loosestrife, and a goodly distance beyond, but top to bottom it's about halfway.
Okay, I think I see it.
Yeah. Cool. Not the sort of thing you see every day. That's why I caught it.
Maybe it's got some debris on it, possibly. You know, if it was in the water, maybe it brought something up with it.
Yeah, maybe it has some mud and duckweed on the front of it, but still, it's quite a big rim, you know, like a...
And is that an eagle in the distance? No.
There's a great blue heron behind it, directly behind it.
Try to look at one of these Caspian terns in the air a bit. Everybody, we're here primarily for shorebirds if possible, but we'll take anything we can get in terms of bird sightings. So I'm looking at a Caspian tern right now in the air. It's difficult when they get that close to stay with them. It just went to the water. There are some shorebirds here. We've seen some killdeer to this point, and Dave has been here longer than I have and has seen others we can go over or hopefully see ourselves later, but I'd rather not mention them because I don't want it to be as if we've seen them yet ourselves.
Yeah. Let's see what we can find.
Okay, ready to walk a little
Yes.
bit? Kind of weird how my camera's set. I'm not sure I'm happy with it, but and I don't know why, but like the viewfinder's kind of dim. Anyway, let's walk.
Yeah.
So again, everybody, we're in a restricted area, but we have special permission to be here. And it's important that I make note of that because, you know, it can't be that everyone's coming down here possibly recklessly and disturbing the birds. That's not what we want to happen.
Well, the other thing is that it's just that the refuge has asked us not to have the big shorebird walks, guided shorebird walks that I've been able to lead in the past.
Right.
So we're just going to try and get you some video and photographs and help people remember it and look forward to it and maybe enjoy and learn something this year that even though we can't all be here this time, which I regret, but the birds are still here.
Mm-hmm. One thing, everybody, you're not really missing out on is the smell of dead fish. It's rather prominent. Luckily, there's a breeze. But with water levels here in the marsh, you know, lowering, as they often do, you know, it leaves some larger fish. What are they, carp?
I think they're carp, yeah.
Abandoned, and eventually they die in those areas. So, and we've seen that. Actually, we've seen that in the main pool along Wildlife Drive in some years, and in some of the other secondary pools we've seen that as well. So it's nothing new. It doesn't go to waste. Other animals will eat the dead fish. So
It'll all get returned to the
exactly
ecosystem. But meanwhile, before the rains of the past few days, the water level was
even lower.
Low, and I guess the oxygen level was low, and a lot of the big fish kicked the bucket. And so they're actually lined up on what was probably the shoreline, the edge of the channel before the rains.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just
all over the place now.
Showing through the water now, since the water level did get raised.
I haven't shown any to you, everybody, but there are some great blue herons, and I would say, at least from what I've seen so far, maybe more great egrets.
Yeah. Let's have a look from here, because there could be shorebirds here. There are some great egrets, which they will.
We can take a look at them.
You might have a nice look at them.
So let's look at the egrets first. Not very, very close, but they are beautiful. Beautiful birds. And you're hearing a killdeer call. I don't know how well you're hearing with the wind, going over the microphone. You can probably hear me. That's not necessarily a good thing. I'm not sure if you can hear Dave. Hopefully you can.
Only when I'm talking.
Okay.
When I'm talking, I'm going to distract from whatever Ferris is aimed at. And what I'm thinking of pulling out is a black-bellied plover, which is something that was not here the past couple weeks we were out here.
I have some yellow legs right now. I'm not sure if they're greater or lesser, to be honest with you, but I believe that's what I was just seeing.
Yeah.
A little bit to the left of the main group here of egrets. And where'd they go? I lost them.
Yellow legs, which just flew. There's another. Okay, there's the leftmost of all these egrets, and it's a little bit farther behind.
In the water?
It's standing on land in between two strips of water, and it's preening. That bird, if we go to, well, now it's just standing up, now it's preening again. If we go behind it, there's a killdeer beyond it. If we go to the left of it, maybe 20 feet in the water, we have the lesser yellow legs. If we go another 30 feet to the left, there's a greater yellow legs walking.
Okay. You can barely see it with the backdrop of water behind it.
Yeah, yes, it's completely against dark water. Just cluttered.
I see it. I'm on it.
Okay, great. So that's greater yellow legs having a longer, skinnier neck and a longer bill. And if you get them side by side, it's overall bigger. And he's left the lesser yellow legs far behind, so it's not going to be easy to make that comparison. Okay. There's a killdeer behind it. And the green squirrel walking. It's going to go down behind this mallard, which is green. Good smell.
Sure, it stops. Okay, here it goes.
And that's going to keep going. It's going to go in front of another great egret, which is green. Another legs.
Was that lesser? I think it's lesser.
Not sure.
Looks smaller anyway. Well, I don't know.
It's got, yeah, I think it is, although it does look kind of, the neck is not as long, but the neck is a little bit skinnier and the bill is shorter, so yes. I'm agreeing with all that.
Okay.
It took me a minute because often the neck, to me, looks as thick as the head is wide.
I see.
Lesser
So, would you,
neck.
for you, is that your, well, under these conditions, is that what you really are cluing in on?
It's one of the first things, but then I want to look at the length of the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if there's another yellow legs nearby, it's different.
Oh, sure.
That's a good thing. And I was wondering whether it had just landed deeper.
Oh.
And that was what was making it look shorter.
Behind the grater is that another lesser back there? Okay.
Somewhere in the background, soon, I hope. Okay. Right now, if you go up past to the first broad strip of land from here, there is a black-bellied plover. Greater yellow legs has kept walking.
I'm looking for the plover now.
Walking to the left a little bit.
Oh, do I see it?
Facing to the left, big black.
Profile overall.
Yes. black coming down the throat and onto the breast, but now it's turned around, so we're seeing the gray back, but it's not a satisfying color. But when it bends over, that's funny. Facing away, it's just gray on the back and white on the belly, which is shadowy, so it all pretty much hides. But then when it bends down, all of a sudden, okay, there's a mallard about to swim in front of it right now.
I'm working on it. Okay, I've got it.
Okay.
And it's walking to the right.
It's walking to the right.
Wouldn't mind a better look than this, but you can see the black face.
We've got it.
Right. You can see that black face, and looks like I'm trying to tighten up here. We've got a bit of a breeze that's shaking everything, everybody. So it's actually a fairly large bird, isn't it?
Yes, it is a big bird. So behind it, for me, is a least sandpiper.
I thought it might be just by the size, but
yeah. So that gives you an idea. It is that much bigger than the least sandpiper. It's really a substantial shorebird.
and the greater just walked in front.
And the lesser with it.
Okay, I can't, well, I've just adjusted my camera, I can't see them now.
They're out of frame. So, yeah, this is...
So this is a black-bellied plover.
It might be a female in breeding plumage, or it might be a male who's starting to lose the breeding plumage. It's not as boldly black on the side of the belly as it might be, but it gives you a sense of why it's called, at least in North America, it's called a black-bellied plover. That black comes from the face down to the breast, and then it stops. And the funny thing is, the way some people find it, the belly starts, and it's always white on the back half of the underside.
Oh.
So if you ever see one of these birds that it has black going down right to the undertail coverts, then you're looking at a golden plover.
Okay. And now, you said that at least one had been reported.
One golden plover was reported yesterday, and I have not found it today. I've been looking around quite a bit.
Could it
had it been all around here?
Any suspicion that it might be someone misidentifying?
I'm pretty confident
Okay.
in the description of it and in their
okay.
ability to identify it, and so I'm trusting
Okay.
this person. But while I was down here earlier, a whole flock of 10 black-bellied plovers, most of them in breeding plumage or near to a
Okay. Oh. Wind is picking up a little bit, everybody. So things are getting shaky.
I don't know if my voice can cut through the wind, but
That I don't know. So yeah, I would just speak up also.
okay. So I mentioned that even though we call it a black-bellied plover, if the black goes completely down the belly, then it would be a
American golden.
golden plover. Well, the British, they dispensed with the term for the belly anyway, because that's a breeding plumage thing.
Okay.
And when they're either juveniles or in their winter plumage, which they should be molting out of in the next few weeks, they're pretty much gray all over.
Oh, I think, not to interrupt you, but I think I found another. Maybe you've seen it already. A second.
Yeah, further to the left.
Yes.
I think we may have the whole group of them. I see 2 more.
Oh, okay.
You and then another 2 more, and this may be the whole flock of 10. I don't know. I just hadn't bothered looking. But anyway, so the Brits call them gray plovers, and that's a pretty good name for most of the time when we see them.
You're right. I think I've seen at least 4, maybe 5 of them to this point. Neat.
And they're doing this typical plover behavior, which is to walk a little bit and then stop.
Kind of like killdeer, which is also a plover.
Yes.
So we're familiar, everybody, with killdeer. We see those often enough, and this, their behavior is somewhat like it.
So they walk a little bit, they stop, and maybe if they see something interesting, they'll peck at the ground, but maybe they won't see anything all that interesting, and they'll just keep walking and stopping. But that's a basic behavior of plovers in general. Killdeer, as in many respects, are a little bit more frantic about it. They just seem to be a little bit more, more hyperactive as birds go. I love the name for killdeer is Charadrius vociferus. Vociferus is
right.
a common name. Just, you know, always making noise, always frantic about things. Among these black-bellied clovers, a whole row of them going down that one strip. When you get to, actually just before you get to two gulls that are resting in the background, you come diagonally down to the right from those two gulls. There's a black-bellied plover, and to the right of it, there is a gray bird, all gray, which is a little bit smaller than the black-bellied plovers, and it's walking to the right.
Okay, I'm on it.
That bird,
and there's another one behind it.
Well, there's another black-bellied plover behind it.
Okay.
And there's another...
And there's a smaller bird to the left.
But I want to concentrate on this big gray bird. If you look at the bird's bill...
Hold on. Let me see if I can get in. Okay. I'm not going to get much better than that.
It might be one of those silhouette bird things, but because there's not a whole lot of color to it anyway. But if you look at the bill, it's a straight bill and it's about the length of the head.
Excuse me, who's vocalizing?
I think that's lesser yellowlegs. There's a couple of birds out here having a fight.
Oh, I see. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Well, I'm going to lose. Well, I'm going to stay on. I'm going to stay on that bird.
Stay on this bird. It's an interesting bird.
I think I lost it.
Okay.
Is it in the, like a grass, almost?
There's a strip of a small patch of very short wheat that's in it.
Okay.
Right, and it's back on barer ground.
Is it looking...
Approaching another black-bellied plover when it walks to the right.
Oh, wait, I think I lost it.
So if you get on the row of black-bellied plovers, it's working its way to the right. It's behind the yellow legs in the water. It's just walked behind it like the black-bellied plover. Now it's to the left of the black-bellied plover.
Oh, I think I have it again. Okay.
So there's a trio of birds there. There's a yellow legs working in the water in front behind. There's a black-bellied plover on the right, and the bird on the left. If you could imagine it being not the same or close to the same size as the black-bellied plover, imagine it being really small. Imagine it being the size of a sanderling or at least a sandpiper. This is the same genus. It's calidrus. It has that classic shape like a football snout. It doesn't stretch out very long in any one direction.
You know what?
The legs are about the same length as the body is deep.
I think I've lost it. I'm sorry.
It's walking a little bit to the right. There's two black-bellied plovers to the left, and it is now about 10 feet to the right of it. It's going to approach that original mallard, which is still standing out there on the bare ground.
Okay, I think I have it again.
Halfway between the mallard and the two.
Yep, I see it. Okay, I'm on it.
Okay. But this is the gigantic version of the calidrus. This is called a red knot.
This is a red knot?
This is a red knot.
This is my first red knot.
It is it's a juvenile bird. It doesn't have what passes for red in birding circles, which is actually sort of a salmon-colored pink on the face, throat, and breast in the breeding birds. But in the non-breeding birds, they look very gray. This one is actually juvenile, and it's something that I might not have known myself, but there was another birder who's much better at this than I am. James Gallen was down here earlier.
And he found it?
No, I showed it to him.
Oh, okay. He ID'd
By
it.
the description of the person who found it yesterday, who was actually seeing some pink on it, we were expecting it to possibly be a breeding plumage bird, which had, was maybe fading a little bit, but in fact it's a juvenile which just has the barest hint of pink to it, and you just have to see it. It's really good light and maybe use a little bit of
imagination
to, or informed guesswork to see that it does have a wee bit of color.
So everybody, if you didn't hear that, we're looking at a red knot that's to the right of the mallard and to the right of the black-bellied plover, which is to the left of the mallard. And now back on, there it is. This is a red knot, a juvenile red knot, and we've never seen one on the tour, or at least not as far as I know,
it's
before.
Considered a rare bird. It's
considered rare for here?
Yes, for here this time of year, and I think probably for any time of year here. It's just there are so few of them. It's a bird which has actually decreased in population a great deal over the past couple decades. Now there's a lesser yellowlegs about to walk in front of it.
Right.
And what's amazing to me is that this bird, which is
behind the mallard.
It's now behind the mallard, but the red knot, which of course is not red right now because that's just the plumage it's in. The red knot is the same body plan as a least sandpiper, but it is bulkier than the lesser yellowlegs. It's not overall taller because lesser yellowlegs has longer legs and a longer neck, but the body is heavier and on the red knot, and you can just imagine a wrestling match who would win. Although the funny thing is the lesser yellowlegs, I've seen them bullying this bird and sort of pushing it off. He just stretched his neck up a little bit, but mostly it keeps his neck up.
I just can't get it, my tripod very solid, and because of the wind.
Here. I'm hoping that occasionally it'll and people will be able to see that. We have a nice long view of it. It is distant, and you're dealing with a breeze here.
And the lighting isn't great either.
It's a very low contrast bird. I mean, within itself, the very pale gray back pretty much matches the color of the whiter belly with, in terms of counter shading. It just disappears against.
Sure does.
This pale mud and dried duckweed. So I wanted to point it out because it's an unusual thing.
Well, that's unusual for me. I'm glad. Thank you.
It's really neat. But yeah, this is a bird which tremendous migrant. It goes all the way down to South America.
Amazing.
The Arctic. And on the way, that's a long trip. It has to really fuel up. One of the places that it stops to fuel up, in the spring at any rate, is Delaware Bay.
Oh.
The shores of Delaware Bay.
And they'll have a lot of them there.
In the spring. Used to be a lot of them.
Oh.
And what they would do is in the spring, the horseshoe crabs would come up onto the beaches and mate and lay their eggs, bury them in the sand above the high tide level. And then this is, they would thousands and thousands of eggs. Each horseshoe crab is laying a bazillion eggs, and the excess eggs are eaten by the shorebirds.
I see.
And that's one of the things that really helped fuel red knots. And I don't know, it's probably 20 years ago now. What happened was somebody discovered that not only was harvesting horseshoe crabs not regulated, but there were things you could use them for, like just gathering them all and grinding them up and using them for fertilizer.
Oh.
Or actually some more useful things, like, not saying fertilizer is useful, but some more specialized uses. Some of them are used for, the blood of horseshoe crabs is very odd, and it gets used in testing pharmaceuticals. It's just,
Oh, really?
you never know what specialized uses. But
Look, excuse me, look at we've got a red knot, we've got two black-bellied plovers behind it. Well, they're moving off to the right now, it's beautiful.
yeah, so
Nice scene.
it's, as we said earlier, the black-bellied plover is really a big shorebird, and this red knot approaches that. So it's still smaller than the toad, but it's really a giant of its own genus.
Of course, it has to be windy now. Thank you.
At least sandpiper, semi-palmated sandpiper, bared sandpiper, white-rump sandpiper, pectoral sandpiper. All of these are in the same genus and have basically the same body plan. Short neck, short legs, fairly short bill.
Oh.
Plovers have shorter bills. If you look at the black-bellied plover in the background, that bill is shorter than the length of the head. Sandpipers.
You're right.
This genus is a large genus. A lot of birds.
Well, that wind is just picking up. Hold on. In the meantime, we have an eagle. Is that a green? Oh, that's a heron. Right there in the air. Well, anyway, I mean, even if we don't see anything else, I think this has been worthwhile. Just for me, anyway, just to see the black-bellied plovers and red knot.
Crabs had laid their eggs, and then that sand was exposed. Lots of red knots, and with the salmon colored breast, and also running turnspin like to eat horseshoe crab.
Okay.
Also,
but aren't there some some efforts being made for the red knot?
yes, I think there's been. Oh no, it's flying.
I've lost sight of it. I've been looking at other things since.
So this could be
Okay, let me see if I can find everybody again. Oh, hold on. We've got shorebirds in the air. I lost sight of them. Well, I wonder if something's going on, because in the distance, a lot of birds are in the air now. Or they were. I wonder if someone... Oh, wait. I think there's a bird of prey in the air, I believe. I'm not sure what it is just yet. Oh, I think there's a peregrine on the ground. Just landed. And I don't know if I can... Let me see if I can... Yeah, if you would, I think. Straight out, and it's... It's where, all these bands of water, it's just before, like, the last prominent band on the ground. Definitely a peregrine. Do you want to see on my camera, Dave?
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Nice view. Yeah. I hope to see that bird through my scope.
Kind of walking a little bit.
Okay.
And I figured, I saw, the gulls in the distance were up in the air, and I saw, I saw some shorebirds, and then I quickly lost sight of them, but I figured something was going on.
Yeah, that's what it's a bird of prey, which is a direct threat to the shorebird.
There's a duck behind it, swimming along as if...
Got something in its left tail.
I would agree with you. It looked like it had something.
Very substantial.
No.
I don't know whether you can see the feathers on its left leg, but it's spotted. It looks like it has very fancy socks on it.
Let me see if I can... Just, you know, this wind is really...
So, I tried to follow the flock about the red knot took off and was with
The plovers, or the black-bellied plovers.
And it looked to me like they were all leaving, but I'm not sure. Maybe the knot peeled off. So maybe we had our lucky moment.
Could be. I'm staying with the peregrine for the moment. Just want to see what happens. It's not eating. I mean, occasionally it's, you know, paying attention to its claw, but I don't think it has any. Oh, maybe. It's like there's something there, but maybe a leftover or something. Oh, wait. No,
I think it's just mud sticking.
yeah, I was just going to say both feet have an issue in terms of like something.
It's got muck on it that's sticking to its feet. And it landed in mud and
Yeah.
it's probably not very happy about it.
Well, it looks like if it does have to take off quickly, that mud will interfere a little bit.
I don't think it's stuck.
Oh, no, it's not stuck. But I mean, it will slow it down. I mean, if it's in a hurry.
Yeah, I think it's probably regretting having landed there.
Yeah.
But it hasn't decided where it wants to go.
To the left, there's a... It looks like a greater... Oh,
Okay. Heron just hopped up.
and then landed right back down. Yes. And I wasn't zoomed in though. I mean, I was back up a little ways.
See it walking, and they've got big feet.
Oh, sure. I don't know if I realized. I don't know if I ever realized their feet were that big. I've seen them before, certainly, but. I didn't see it.
There's a lot of life here, and some of it is
What's
on the level of eating worms or vegetation or insects.
Did you,
There is other levels of eating things and breeding those things.
did you see that? I think, yeah, kind of made the peregrine duck a little bit.
I have seen Caspian terns attack peregrines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The peregrine's in the air right now, but
Yeah.
about to land, I think. Yep.
I have seen a peregrine flying around here with a Caspian tern right over its back and screaming at it, telling it in certain terms to protect it.
Yeah. I'm leaving the camera pointed at the peregrine, but I'm going to look around with binoculars. With binoculars, I don't see, I'm not even sure I know where the peregrine is. I still have it on camera.
It's between in front of and between Gull, which is lying down to rest, and one which is standing up and facing right. It's a Heron Gull on the left, which is facing right, and right is a Gull. I'm not sure, but I think it might be a Gull, which is down and it's got its bill. And the background of the Heron Gull.
Oh,
Way off.
well, I've lost sight of the peregrine. I've moved my camera, and now I don't know where it is. I'll find it eventually, as long as it stays put.
Oh, there's a harrier in the back.
There is?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the peregrine is still on the ground. But above and to the left of it, behind all the row of maple herons, there are 2 harriers.
On the ground?
On the ground, yeah. So,
Wait.
okay, I would say find the rightmost gull that you can see. The row of gulls down there. It's lying down as it's built up on its wing. The peregrine is in front of that.
Hold on.
It's more or less behind 2 lined up radios.
Oh, wait. Oh, I see. Well, one. I just saw a harrier in the air.
Yes.
And I'm following it. Oh, oh, the harrier and a crow are interacting. And now I see both harriers in the air.
Okay.
And yeah, that was, I think that
Or the other way around.
yes, but both harriers are in the air, and occasionally they're diving after each other, not the harriers, but after the crow. There goes,
Oh,
you see that?
so that looked like the harrier was harassing the crow.
I would agree.
These are young harriers, probably, I don't know if they're relation here, but let's see how they're all cinnamon colored underneath.
Okay.
Wings.
So what?
Females are brown but lighter underneath.
Ducks just came in and landed. Okay. I still haven't seen the peregrine.
Peregrine is much further to the right at this point.
Okay, I'll have to find it
Was
again.
last I saw it. I lost track of the peregrine. And at least it's not where it used to be. I know that because I went all the way to where there's an immature bald eagle sitting on the ground.
Okay.
It had been to the right of where
Okay, I see the bald eagle in the distance.
Yes. So I don't know. Oh, the peregrine is now further to the right. It's moving further to the right.
Canada geese are coming in. I hear them. Oh, is that the peregrine?
It's sort of looking over his left shoulder.
I see it.
It's facing right. It's
I see it.
what an array of predators.
Oh, yeah.
We've got peregrine, bald eagle, mature bald eagle, and 2 immature
Harriers.
harriers. We're seeing fewer shorebirds.
Possibly, oh, that's a turkey vulture in the air. To our left and looking a little raggedy.
Yeah. Shorebirds because even if you don't find any shorebirds,
Right, you might.
you'll find a lot of other things.
Not sure where the peregrine is any longer. Looked away. No, well, I think there's some around. They're scattered here and there. Right. Let's see if I can find it. Okay.
There's some ducks over there in the channel. If we were to walk around there,
Good question.
I think that's our best bet for
Okay.
further out again, we'll have the light not directly against.
I think I see a cormorant out there as well. Another cormorant. I see the trumpeter. I see one anyway. Oh, no, two. Okay. Oh.
Shorebirds are moving now, which I'm not sure if that's a lot of shorebirds.
This wind is... it's really not helping. I lost sight of them. I had them and I lost... oh, there they are. Yep, I see them. Oh yeah.
What an energy intensive activity that is. And I think about how much time they spend times going flying. How can they possibly?
Oh, look at black terns. I mean, they do all that flying. How could they, or common nighthawks?
If they're chimney swifts, they're flying all the time and manage to settle enough food.
I see, but they're still, they don't look like they're really, I mean, I see enough movement.
They went immediately to feeding.
Okay.
They're relaxed. It just means that
Got to do it.
they found food and they're taking advantage of it.
Should we start walking? Okay, let's do that. Okay, let me just rig for travel here 1 second. This wind is really, it's problematic.
Oh yeah. It's really a difficult thing that you do, which is to take long distance video.
Oh yeah, it's
on just.
Well, yeah, and you know, when you're
weekly basis, and basically whatever the weather hands you, you're trying to deal with.
right.
And before we had heat shimmer and really bad glare,
And now you just have wind shaking everything.
and now we have wind instead. And the sun has broken through the clouds.
So we'll get heat shimmer too. A little bit.
Now we've got a little glare, but I don't think we'll get much heat shimmer with this.
No, you may be
wind
right. You may be right. So again, everybody, if you just happen to be joining us, we're walking along the Knox Marcellus Marsh. We're in a restricted area, but we've been given special permission. We're here with Dave Nutter.
Hello.
And we're just looking primarily for shorebirds, but we'll take any interesting birds we can get.
And we've been very fortunate so far.
We have. We've seen, to this point, we've seen great blue herons, great egrets, a red knot, a greater yellow legs, lesser yellow legs, black-bellied plover, killdeer.
There might have been at least sandpiper or two that sort of bombed everything.
Least
we didn't really
sandpiper.
concentrate on them except to notice how much smaller they were than the black-bellied plovers and the red knot.
Northern harriers, a peregrine falcon, bald eagle, turkey vulture.
And there's Caspian terns.
Caspian terns, the gulls, which I can't name.
Well, there's herring gulls, but more predominantly ring-billed gulls here. And if we get a chance, we can try and focus in on them and talk about the differences.
Wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Okay.
Trumpeter swan.
Yeah. Among the ducks, and the ducks are usually the most skittish about people. There are mallards mainly, but I would bet there's
Probably.
4 or 5 other species as well.
Canada geese also.
Yeah.
Can't forget them. Song sparrow.
As we walked down here, we saw a couple of cedar waxwings.
That's right.
So
We've had a nice mix.
it's a busy place.
And a snapping turtle.
Yeah.
A couple dead frogs.
Live frogs too.
I haven't seen any live ones yet, but
Okay.
I'll take your word for it.
And double-crested cormorant.
Yep, and dead fish. It's at least 80 degrees by now. I know it was 79 degrees when I shut off the car.
And it's fairly humid.
It is humid, and it's breezy, maybe even windy. And we did have rain earlier, but since we started walking, we haven't had a drop.
Yeah.
But we had said we wouldn't talk about that. So now you're all up to date to this point. But I mean, the wind is a factor. There's no doubt. And you know, the wind affects us. It really affects people who are listening through a microphone.
Yeah, so there's not only a vibrating image, but
Noise.
the sound. We've got monarch butterflies ahead of us.
Yeah, a couple of them. 3 of them.
And we're walking past a bunch of milkweed with the pods ripening. And a huge patch of pokeweed.
Of what?
Pokeweed.
Cokeweed?
Pokeweed. P-O-K-E.
P-O-K. Okay, never heard of it.
And those berries turn deep purple. And I understand it's poisonous for people to eat, but when the berries ripen, birds love them.
Oh,
That's probably the biggest pokeweed plant or patch that I've seen.
so again, everybody, we're down here, so we're getting the benefit of a view we can't get from the normal viewing area. And you know, lucky enough to be invited along so that we can see these things for a change. Most of the time we're relegated to the parking area, the viewing area, up along East Road.
From up there, you might be half a mile away and not have any choice about
Exactly.
which side of you're on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no changing the conditions from there. That's always far, and you can only hope for decent lighting and hopefully a lack of heat shimmer. And that heat shimmer you get all year. You know, it's year round. It's not just in the summer months.
Okay. When we come out into this area, maybe we can try looking around from here.
Okay. Oh yeah. You see,
There's an array of shorebirds.
let's.
See what we can find.
I'm ready to stop right about here. I
There's
think.
some deep water shorebirds almost directly in front of us. And I'm going to guess they're going to be mainly greater yellow.
You want to look here first? Okay.
Sure.
All right. Let me hold on one second. So we're looking over this area, and we're going to check the ones that are. I don't know if you can see them right there. Not these. Not these. That's
greater yellowlegs calling. There are several of them resting out here. Row. All of them are walking. Little gulls also resting. Greater yellowlegs is one of the largest shorebirds we have, but the ring-billed gull is by no means the largest gull we have, so they are substantial. Gulls are substantially larger than
sure.
greater yellowlegs. But the one gull that's facing right, you can see that yellow bill with a very distinct black ring around it just before the tip. That's the signature.
Ring-billed gull.
Yeah.
Yellow legs. Okay.
That's the most common gull we have. You know, it's just scratching its face. Okay. All of these shorebirds appear to be
Greater yellow legs.
mostly resting. Some are blotchy. These are adults.
Okay.
Speckles and blotches and long speckles. So we have here not just the birds that hatched this spring, but the birds that were raising them. Oftentimes with shorebird migration, there are two waves of migration. The first wave starts in July, and that's mainly adults.
Really? Okay. And they leave the young behind?
Either been unsuccessful at breeding, or they've done their job, and,
Oh.
and the young birds are on their own. Then in August, there's another wave, which is juveniles.
Okay.
Here we have
So the blotchy ones again are the younger ones. No, I'm sorry. The smoother ones are the younger ones, and the blotchy ones are the adults.
the juvenile birds. They have got a complete brand new set of feathers. So there isn't any molting going on. There isn't any replacing
Okay.
one thing with another thing. There isn't more spectacular breeding pattern, which, you know, on a yellow legs, it's not that spectacular, but there's a lot of spots and some blotchiness. There's also among the gulls, towards the left into this group of yellow legs, there are two gulls, which are immature gulls. And right closer
does have a nice pattern. Okay.
So the one that's further back, I'm thinking is a year old, and the one that's closer.
But
I'm sure they're both together.
But look at the tip on that one. That's, well, now facing right.
Yeah.
It goes, the black, the bill is black all the way to the tip. Or not the entire bill, but I mean, there's no, it's not a ring. It's
right,
like
it's not a ring. So it's the adults which have a ring.
Okay.
And to add confusion, there are stages of other gulls which also have a ring.
Sure.
So an immature herring gull, an immature great black bill,
Nothing can be easy.
might show a ring. Not the most distinctive feature, not the best name, but anyway, that's what we call it, the ring. Same size, same shape, and knowing what the plumage is like, helpful. The adults have plumage is very, very similar to the herring gull, being basically white on the head, neck, breast, belly, and the tail, and pale gray across the back and wings with black ridges.
Should we look at the other grouping of shorebirds?
Yes.
Well, before we get to them quite, there are two on the right of that group. Just to the left, a little ways to the left of the great egret that's walking in that direction. So we should start there, I think.
Yeah, okay. These are sleeping shorebirds.
Blotchy, the one on the right is blotchy.
Yeah. And, okay, a little bit further away, so it's a little bit hard to tell if they're the same size or smaller.
The egret's right with them now. Okay.
I think I can see yellow on the leg of the right one. Yellow legs. The question is, and there are definitely adults. That's a long enough bill. Those are more greater yellow legs.
Okay.
They look smaller because they're farther away. That's my interpretation.
All right, moving to the left.
Past the great egret.
Mm-hmm.
We have some birds which are feeding. And again, these are yellow legs. Tringa is the genus, and the whole genus is, at least the birds in that genus we have around here, are marked by this extreme shape, extremely long legs, extremely long neck, extremely long bill, and extremely long body.
But do we have some lessers in here?
I'm thinking it's all breeders. I'm not sure. I know the closest one to us is a breeder, and honestly, I get confused. This is one of those times.
You get confused. How about me? I think at least the one that's to the left, on the left turn, well, not all the way to the left where the three are. Oh yeah, I think we have some greater and lesser here.
Okay, there's definitely a greater which is walking to the right and just going in front of us.
Well, if you look, there are three birds on the left of this overall grouping. 2 and 1. To the very left, I think that's a greater, and then in closer to the right and now heading right, those are two lessers.
Yes, so there's a greater on the very left that's walking to the left, and then there's several lesser yellow legs.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lesser yellow legs, and then you get to another greater. This is largely by size, and now that we have that size established, we can try to refine our abilities to identify.
Says you.
It's tricky because they are all extreme, and even in the case of the lesser yellow legs, the bill is longer than the length of the head. It's not as much longer. And the neck is long and skinny. It's not as long and skinny. So sometimes sometimes that neck looks as thick as the head, and right now it doesn't, and that was certainly delaying my recognition. So yeah, lesser yellow legs.
All right, I'm going to leave the camera here. I want to look around a little bit with binoculars. Oh yeah? You're not supposed to be there. Yes, we know.
There is,
you know,
shorebirds that I'd like to look at, which are a little bit further away.
Are they, okay, let's,
Broadly yellow legs, the lesser yellow legs that we've been looking at.
okay. There's a strip of green.
Strip of green, and there's bright white water, and then there's a little strip of dark
water. So you want to go to the dark water?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to go to the dark water.
Yesterday morning, was it yesterday? Or maybe it was the morning before. I was, you know, just in my morning routine, I was like going through like, okay, how do you talk about distant, you know, specific locations, you know, when two people are standing, let's say, side by side, and you know, how can you differentiate and discuss, because we had all those problems last week at Van Dyne Spoor, and
there was a lot less differentiation we could use there.
Sure, but I mean, I had the right idea.
Common language and communication. I think we're doing great.
I had a.
On birds there now?
Pardon me?
Are you looking at the birds? They've walked into the light water just beyond that strip of dark.
Okay, I'm looking at various birds, and yeah, in that strip of lighter water now. Yes.
Okay. On the very left, there's a greater yellow legs, but then there are 1, 2, 3 on the left and 4 on the right of a different species, which I want to note. And if we go to the right, where there's 4 of them together, and they've got
them.
Beaks, and they're up to their bellies in water almost, and they're poking their beaks down into the water. And then to the right of them, there are a couple of lesser yellow legs, which are kind of walking around and occasionally just barely touching the water.
Well, I've got those 4 that you were talking about with long bills. Are those?
And they are similar shape to the greater yellow legs, but it turns out that they are the extreme long example of the Calidris genus. This is stilt sandpipers.
Oh, okay.
They are a little bit smaller than a lesser yellow legs, and if you look at their bill, the bill is a little bit longer in proportion to the head than the lesser yellow legs bill. And that bill actually droops down a very tiny bit towards the end. But one of the really significant things is the way they feed. You can see the lesser yellow legs on the right. Walks around, eventually barely jabs on the surface. But the stilt sandpiper, what it likes to do is put its head right down into the mud. And oftentimes, if it's up to its belly in water, its head will disappear.
Oh, really?
And its rear end will tip right up. So this is something I'm going to acknowledge that I'm taking this from Kevin McGowan, one of the great birders at the ornithology lab, who teaches about birding. And he says they're like an oil derrick. One end goes down and the other end goes up.
Okay.
The way they feed.
Did you hear that, everybody?
It's like an oil derrick, so that when they tip their head down, their rear end goes up.
You know what?
Their heads aren't going completely in the water.
Excuse me, Dave. You can see there's a greater yellow legs behind them, and you can see, everybody, how it's just the bill barely, you know, goes beneath the water surface. But then you look at the stilt sandpipers, and yes, their bills, like they're almost drilling into the.
Yes.
They are going into the mud, correct?
Yes.
Below that water.
So they have quite long legs for and the rear end is somewhat elongated. The back is not quite as shape is
wind is terrible.
The thing's unusual is the fact that it's smaller than the rest of the other legs. The bill is so particular behavior is really good. Now they're running around. Now when they stop, they really drill straight down, and if the water was being run, it's not a classic feeding, but it's close to it. They'll often stick their head entirely under as they drill down and feel the water that deep in their rear end goes up further than you're seeing right now. There's still something coming up by a black-bellied plover. Still one black-bellied plover here.
Alright, let me see if I can get the... Oh, there's the plover. Okay.
So you can see, relative to the black-bellied plover, they're smaller, and if you recall how big the knot was, the red knot, these are smaller than the red knot.
Okay.
And we knew that anyway because they're smaller than the lesser yellow legs. So here's the lesser yellow legs about to walk alongside of the stilt sandpiper and the black-bellied. So this is when it really becomes useful to know the relative size. Even if you didn't know what these birds were, and we knew what a particular one was, we could eliminate a lot of possibilities
Sure.
of size, the relative size. And sometimes you can take two birds that you're unsure of separately, put them next to each other, and figure out what both of them are, which is really a pleasing sort of a accomplishment.
It's a puzzle.
Yeah, it's a puzzle. All of birding is puzzling to figure out what things are. Some of them are trickier and more subtle. And shorebirds as a group, it's a big matrix, but it's like doing Sudoku. You know, it's just like you figure things out.
I just wish it would, you know, if I could get that wind to stop for a minute.
So, if you were to imagine a sanderling or at least a sandpiper, whatever gene is controlling how long things are,
Mm-hmm.
sort of tweak that gene a little bit and give it super long legs, give it a super long bill, give it a little neck. Even though it started out being the same thing, it's
Still sandpiper.
It's still a calidious sandpiper, but it is the most extreme in terms of being long-legged. And that's why it's called a stilt sandpiper.
Cool.
It actually has proportionately longer
How
legs
many stilts are there? Oh, actually, probably just the 4.
There were 3 on the left.
Oh, okay.
And then there were 4 on
I
the
thought
right.
I might have seen more, but I was afraid I was getting them confused with other birds that are there.
Now, there are a couple of birds I think are not stilt sandpipers. So, I think we've got a couple of possibly petrel sandpipers. So at the birdie, I'm seeing like the end of the ducks, the left end of where there's ducks sleeping.
Okay, hold on. Let me dial back out.
The same
Okay.
area we were before.
Okay.
Back to the left. Where
Who's taking... Oh, never mind. Oh, no, they landed, I think.
Yeah.
Now they're flying again.
The stilt sandpiper is, it's got a white on the tail, much like a yellow. Only by not doing the typical
The black-bellied plover's moving along again, just walking. Okay, I just want to see if I can, I lost it. I was trying to zoom in. I want to, if possible, just get a slightly better look, if possible, at the black-bellied plover.
It's
not going to be sharp because that wind just won't allow it. But. Oh, you have? Okay. All right, let's see. A long-billed dowitcher? Actually, that's the only dowitcher I know. Or know of. Well, maybe I've... Okay.
The bill is not a good thing to use.
Okay. I don't know if anything beats red-necked, or no, ring-billed duck. Or ring-necked duck, I'm sorry. So where are the dowitcher?
Further back of the two are strips of water. Further right, walking left. Between the two strips of dark water. There, in the background are several Caspian terns and a great egret, which is maybe not very informative.
Not at all. Hold on. Let me see what I can see.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of goes on for a while in both directions. Okay, among the great egrets which are with the Caspian terns, is the rightmost of the great egrets.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay.
And you drop down from that egret who's facing away from us, has his legs sort of
Splayed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drop down, and in between the two strips of dark water, there are two shorebirds.
Oh, I see them.
With very long bills.
Moving to the right. Kinda.
They're kind of humped back. Those bills are longer than the bills of the stilt sandpipers. The feeding method is pretty similar, though. Those are dowitchers.
And you don't know which kind, long or short.
I would guess that they are short-billed dowitchers, and that they are, part of the basis for doing that is that I can see the plumage on the back and wings is very nicely patterned. All of the feathers have a nice pale edge to them, so it's a warm brownish tan color, and that tells me it's juvenile. And the juvenile plumage is the easiest to tell. The short-billed from the long-billed. The juvenile plumage has this warm color, including on the breast and belly. The long-billed dowitcher is more of a cold gray on the breast and belly, and it seems to be a colder color on the back, and some of the feather edging on the back might seem more orange than tan.
Okay. So you're thinking these are short-billed dowitchers.
Short-billed dowitchers. They're definitely juvenile dowitchers. If we were to, another distinction between the two dowitchers is that long-billed is larger. You know, looks to me like the bird on the right is a little bit larger than the bird on the left, but they're so alike in plumage and shape that I'm confident it's just, individual variation.
Okay.
I don't think that's two different species. And another thing about the long-billed dowitchers is they are noted for having very deep bellies. So they look, I've heard it described as if, again, I think it was Kevin McGowan who said, looks like they've swallowed a grapefruit.
Dave, if you can move a little bit to the right and in the dark water.
Yes.
just at the edge, there's a bird not the one that's moving left. What is that bird there? Is that a...
And that's
kind of
still poking to the right?
Yes.
That is a semi-palmated sandpiper.
Okay.
We've seen that on land before, but now it's trying to act like a lesser yellowlegs and walking around in water and stretching out its wee little neck and poking down with its bill. But it's a very pale sandpiper, and it has just the barest wash of puffy on the face, and it's pretty white on the belly, white in general on the breast. And it has a little short, less than, or about the length of the head, black bill. That's a semi-palmated sandpiper.
Semi-palmated sandpiper, okay.
But, uh-oh, that's a bunch of birds flying.
Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah, I see them with the naked eye.
And come back to the dowitcher.
Well, I'm going to stay with the moving. They've come to a landing for the most part, Dave.
There's another bird to the left of those.
And I don't know why. I don't know what was going on. Oh, I would suggest looking out there where they landed if you can. I think you might see more semi-palmated. Wait, semi-palmated sandpiper.
Sandpipers, yes. Of course, with a confusing name like that, semi-palmated means that they only have
partial webbing.
Partial webbing, only webbing between two of the three toes, or only half webbing. I guess it's only half webbing.
I know what you're all wondering, everybody. You're wondering if there's such a thing as a palmated. I kind of doubt it. No one's called that. But anyway, are you on that group of birds? I mean, there's a good variety. I have a feeling there's a decent variety out there.
I think I'm dealing with...
Hold on, let's wait for that witness. No, they're, yeah, I mean, let me see. You know what? They're in that area just before the last patch of lighter water, just a thin line of lighter water. They're in the last.
In front of all the ducks.
Yes, I think so. Yes. I think there are some larger birds in amongst them. I do too, but I can get a decent view if the wind holds still.
I'm seeing a few least sandpipers in there.
Oh, and behind them, the ducks behind them. Oh, I think I see a pintail. Do I see a pintail?
The second rightmost bird, I think, is a black duck.
Well, I'm looking in they're in the water, not anything not on the ground, but I think I see, or dry ground, I think I see a pintail. Correct.
Very fluffy.
Oh, yeah, there may even be a... Oh,
There's two pintails.
I think you're right.
Either that or it's a double-headed bird.
No, well, it could be one of those double-headed birds.
So
and I'm guessing the one in the foreground, do I see a lighter bit near the neck that might be the future white pattern on a male?
Could be. I'm guessing the fact that they're so close together, even though they're in similar plumage, it's a male and a female.
Mated pair.
An eclipse male. And I can't see what's going on in the neck well enough to say what's going on, except for I think there's really good odds it's one and the other. And I think that's really neat that you pick those out, because there's not a whole lot to go on. It's just a kind of a speckly, buffy colored lump in the
I agree.
And now they're
Here, if you want to look, I mean...
No, I've got a good look.
Okay.
Now they're in profile, which is nice, and it's more like what you'd expect of a duck. You know, you can see the tail, you can see the head, you can see the eye, you can see the neck, and of course the pintail has more of a neck than a lot of ducks.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a longer, thinner neck, kind of makes it look more graceful. And
yeah, I think that's a male in the foreground, and I think that's a female. Just the way she lifted her... Well, maybe I'm wrong about the female, but just by the appearance.
cool. Okay.
Okay.
And the shorebirds are moving around now. So you can see there's some killdeer flying with a lot of sandpipers. And these birds look the same size as they're flying.
I didn't follow them. I'm just looking around with binoculars right now. Hold on a second. Is that just a greater yellowlegs I'm looking at? Looks large. No, that's not a greater yellowlegs, is it? I don't know. Hold on one second here. Maybe it is a greater. I don't... It just looks large. Yeah, it's that away all by itself. Here, take a look if you want. But all by itself, it just seems like a stocky bird. Maybe it is greater yellowlegs.
It looks like greater yellowlegs.
I think it probably is, but it just seems... Overall, it just seems a little broader, unless I'm mistaking something. It's if you look out that way, it's in the green. Where is it with binoculars? greater, Dave? Well, maybe it is greater yellowlegs. Yeah, that's probably it. Okay. I think it is. I think it is greater yellowlegs.
Yeah, it looked like that from view on your screen. It seemed like pretty good.
It just somehow seemed larger than I would have expected. It happens.
But it's by itself. And that's the tricky thing about size is there are a lot of factors that can give you an illusion of something being large or something being small.
Right.
There's nothing in that view to really nail it down. So it's impressive. It's standing up fairly high. It's fairly robust, and the angle we're seeing it is essentially now. But
Okay.
so about size, as I said, it's something that is really hard to use a lot of the time.
Sure.
The best thing is having something else, some other species next to it that you already know what it is. Compare directly. This is larger or smaller, or this much larger, or that much smaller. There are a few clues, and
Excuse me, Dave. I was watching some ducks, and they seemed all of a sudden alert, and now I see shorebirds in motion.
yes,
Something else may be going on, I don't know.
yeah, there may well be a peregrine who's hunting.
And you hear the killdeer also.
Yeah. While we're waiting to find the peregrine, I would like to keep talking about
Okay.
how to get some hints about size of birds. One is that I might have mentioned this earlier, there's the peregrine. It's just over the trees going left.
Okay, I'm watching the shorebirds now.
It's now down at very low to the water and still going left down towards Towpath Road. And now it's crossing the dike over into Puddler. So it's no longer at night, so
Okay.
it could come back any second. The bigger a bird is, the more wing area it has to have.
Right.
And so the more wing muscles it has to have, the body gets bigger much faster than the head does. So
Okay.
if you look at a hummingbird, the head is practically the size of half the body. I mean, just as a general. I mean, maybe it's a third, but it's big compared to the body. The bigger the bird is, the smaller the head in proportion. As a
Okay.
general. There's little exceptions and tricky things like that.
Makes sense.
Good thing to remember. Also, the smaller a bird is, okay, its wings are smaller and it's flapping faster. So the more rapid the wing beat is, that usually indicates a smaller bird.
Okay. So those are,
General.
in case anyone's forgetting why Dave is telling us that, it's because sometimes, you're looking at a bird all by itself and you have no other clues as to size. So, for instance, seeing that the head is smaller in proportion to the body may indicate that it's, a relatively larger bird.
Yeah. We looked at it before and it was all greater yellowlegs in front of us. It is now a mixed group.
Oh, well, they've been moving around.
And there are greater yellowlegs, lesser yellowlegs, and stilt sandpipers all in this group. And that might be a fun thing to just look at.
Not anymore.
It was fun until they all took off.
Oh, the peregrines. Did I see a peregrine?
Yeah.
There it is. Just flew by.
Very low. And this bird was
I'm not looking at anything right now. I'm looking just to see with the naked eye if the peregrine comes back. I don't see it. Okay, I'm going to go back to that group. Okay, I'm going to go back at that group, and I'm going to see if I can go left to right in decent close-up, hopefully. Not too close.
For instance, and you can see things that are definitely yellow legs, and you can see things that are definitely adults with blotchy plumage. These are definitely juveniles with meticulously, evenly patterned plumage. And you know, the large, long, straight-billed birds are the greater yellow legs, and the smaller straight-billed birds are lesser yellow legs. And if you see something that's even smaller and the bill curves a little bit, it'll be a stilt sandpiper.
Okay, I haven't seen any of those yet.
There were some before, but I didn't let them during that last. I think there is. Maybe that's a pectoral sandpiper. Towards the left, there's a bathing.
I see it. And here's some other birds coming in right now.
To the right, there's a brown bird, which is the closest one to the bathing greater yellow legs. It's browner than the others. I'm betting that's a pectoral sandpiper. See if it just turned around.
Oh yeah, and its head.
Pectoral sandpiper.
You look at its face. It's different. Its forehead.
Yeah, the bill is shorter in proportion. It's only about the length of the head. Droops a little bit, and when it turns, and now when it's back to us, you can see this effect of light stripes down the back, which we call braces, which is something pectorals have. And when it turned around, it had this dark gray shield of streak, which came down very low in a sort of a convex band at the bottom.
So again, this is a pectoral sandpiper. I wish it would turn around.
Yeah, well,
It did once.
the first thing that clued me in was it's a different color. It's just more brown. Everything else is kind of gray in tone, and this is more brown. And then also it's a little bit smaller.
Excuse me. Yeah, would you move aside, please? Okay.
Now it's a profile, but it's okay.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, and
Here we go.
pectoral sandpiper is another of the calidrous sandpipers, like the least sandpiper and sanderling. It doesn't have a whole lot of neck. The legs are pretty short, and so it's deep. Its belly is down in the water, where the lesser yellow legs, their bellies are up above the water. It's got a short neck. But this bird, its head is smaller in proportion to the body than it would be on a least. A least sandpiper head wouldn't look that tiny. You're still following the bird?
I am indeed.
It's preening right now. But it's got a nice, it's got a side view, even though it's got birds kind of in front of it. So those are some of the things that I've been using. You know, look, what stands out as different. It's, you know, the color was different, and the pattern on the back was different, and how deep in the water it was different, which makes me think I might have another interesting bird to the left of that.
Okay, let me just. I want to hold off just for a moment. I'm going to stay on the pectoral. Just for. Oh, who just walked?
Another bird will get out of the way instead of getting in the way.
Okay, I'm going to dial it back a little bit. Now what? Uh-oh.
Okay, the pectoral is pretty much hidden at the moment, but we go about the same distance away. Oh, pectoral. So now the pectoral is moving, and it might give us a nice view of the breast. Which, come on now. There is another bird that's sleeping, or that's resting with its bill tucked in, about a few feet to the left.
A few more birds are coming in.
Oh, there's a fluttering around, hoping to land. There's what I think is a semi-palmated sandpiper. Its legs are just too short. So it keeps thinking, do I want to land? Do I want to land? No, I don't.
Oh, I just saw it with my own eyes. I didn't get it on camera. I wonder if it left the area.
The water's
Just too deep there.
But there are a couple of stilt sandpipers.
Okay, I'd like to see those.
Right next to the pectoral sandpipers, the stilt sandpiper in front of them.
Is the pectoral moving left?
Yes. And so now they've traded places. They've traded places with the stilt sandpiper. But the pectoral sandpiper
kind of lost the pectoral.
They went off to approximately where it started.
Oh, is it stationary now?
It's facing right in a way.
Okay.
And it's browner, and when it turns its head, you can see the bill is
Okay.
only about the length of the head and slightly down.
All right, I see the pectoral.
Okay.
Now,
All right, let's see what about the bird that's next to it. That bird is quite low in the water. I want to see the bill in that.
it's got that same dotted white pattern as the other birds around it.
I'm wondering if, I know there are stilt sandpipers around here. So, get a look at a stilt sandpiper bill.
I think
Nope, that's muscular.
yeah, I was going to say I think it is.
A couple birds to the right. There's one that's kind of by itself that's sleeping, but its body's facing directly away from it, but it's there. It just stuck its head out, and it was not.
Who's walking back there?
I think that's a semi-palmated sandpiper. Yeah.
Very deep water
Yes,
for it.
It's very deep water, so it might even be swimming. It's just, it wants to be with the other birds, but it's just the wrong leg length to do it properly.
Semi-palmated sandpiper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Short, straight bill,
A little bit of
and
buffiness on the face.
yeah. It's kind of a, the gray tone is
Cute little bird.
not so far off the others. It's a little bit buffier than the others, but it's not as dark brown as the least sandpiper would be.
Out of the way.
Oh, look at the bill on that.
Oh yeah.
Yellow leg. Nice bit of upsweep on that.
And here, well,
Okay, so that
that was a quick turnaround, but we had birds in the way really
so this
of the semi-palmated.
sandpiper is doing the sort of thing that phalaropes do, which is sort of swim and turn around. I'm pretty sure that's not a phalarope, but it's when you see a shorebird doing that, look carefully just in case.
I don't think that bird likes being in such deep water. I lost it.
I think it solved this problem by swimming and floating instead of standing.
Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. It's a cute little bird.
Yeah, but clearly different than all the others. Much smaller. The back end is, I mean, it comes to a more blunt point, I would say. It doesn't have the wings and tail really stretched out so much the way the yellow legs do.
I see what you mean.
And it's got basically no neck, not very much bill. And those are things that point to it being in the colligerous group, at least in the knot. So it does have a very nice pattern on the wings, this sandpiper. Like a lot of the other birds. You can see every single feather on the back and the wing cover because each of them is outlined in a pale edging. That's what gives them, when somebody says there's a scaly pattern on a bird, that's what it is.
I see.
The feather has a pale edging and a dark center. And so you can see them all nicely. And that's typically juvenile birds that show that. A lot of birds here that have a spot on every feather, and that also gives them a nice pattern. But it's not scaly, it's spotted. And I'm hoping to find a stilt sandpiper that is active enough that we can see that it has a longer downturn bill. Okay, if you go further to the right in this group, you see two gulls just beyond it.
Okay, hold on a
Right
second.
of those two gulls, just in front of that, below that, okay, almost between those two gulls, there's a bird that's walking to the right.
I see
It
it.
has a downturned bill. It's preening now, preening its rump.
It's stilt sandpiper?
That's a stilt sandpiper.
All right, let's see if we can get a good look at it.
So it is in the genus Calidris, but it's the extreme one, the one that's more stretched out, especially in the legs and the bill, but also in the neck. It's unusual in Calidris sandpipers in that, you'd say, oh, that bird has a neck. Of course it has a neck. But if you look at a semi-palmated sandpiper, you go, yeah, what neck? The head is basically plunked right onto the shoulder. It has the same number of vertebrae probably underneath all the feathers, but the length of them and the way they're held typically, not having a neck.
So stilt sandpiper, everybody.
So it's there. It's now preening. So you can see when it's standing up in the water, it has long enough legs, similar to the lesser yellow legs, to be out of the water, even though its body is smaller. And when its bill is not under all its feathers, you can see that bill actually droops down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to have to take this call.
Okay.
It could be another rare bird someplace.
We're on our own right now.
Hi, Ruben. What's up?
Hopefully you're
I'm
seeing
still
this
out.
well.
I'm with Ferris right now on the dike at Knox Marcellus, and we're live streaming. We had a great look at the red knot and some
Let's check up on you, everybody.
I think most of the black-bellied gulls, probably the red knot as well, they left in a group when there was very We're now looking at stilt sandpipers and
anyone can tune in. Anyone who wants to tune in, they can see what we're seeing.
That's true. So, okay. How about you? Anything in particular? Okay. We've been successful.
The wind is also picking up again.
All right. Later then. Okay. Thank you.
See, that's the thing. I mean, if they can put up with what's being seen on my camera. Oh, okay.
Oh. So the fact that he's using cell phones is kind of neat. But he also hires drivers to take him around and take him here. So he's a great birder. Calls out he often has some really interesting to tell.
Okay. Just saying hello.
To see if the birds that he found yesterday had stuck around. One of them did long enough for us to see it. It's great.
Looks like some of this grouping may be moving on over to, well, I don't know, maybe they're not.
Among this close group, we've had greater yellow legs, lesser yellow legs, stilt sandpiper, pectoral sandpiper, and semi-palmated sandpiper. In what at first glance looks like just a bunch of backlit gray shorebirds, which a lot of people, would just be intimidated by. But when you have a few tools to work with, size, shape, color, pattern, you can sort things out, and that's what we've been trying to do. And hopefully it'll help other people do that as well.
I think so.
We've pretty well covered this group. If there's
I would agree.
Actually, Ruben said he was calling from home, so it's probably the phone in his office, which is a separate building.
think, you know, this group that's near us that we've been watching,
Yes.
a few keep coming, you know, we keep seeing a few move on elsewhere.
Yeah. They, either hungry or confident enough that the peregrine is not going to harass them for a while, that they're willing to go find someplace to feed. So, over to the left, there's more birds that are feeding. It's mainly greater and lesser yellowlegs over there, although I'm seeing a stilt sandpiper.
Okay.
I saw them earlier. This is a little closer. Still backlit, kind of silhouetted. I mentioned phalaropes before. Phalaropes have very thin bills, and one of the things that they do in the water is they literally spin around in order to push the water at the surface away from them, which creates an upwelling
Oh,
and brings tiny little tidbits to the surface, which they grab rapidly with their little forceps bills.
that's pretty amazing when you. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, and they are, among shorebirds, they actually do have enough webbing on their feet to swim well. They winter out at sea. And, but they also, Wilson's phalarope, if we saw one of those, it would be just as likely to be walking around on the mud or in shallow water among lesser yellowlegs. It's a little smaller and a little paler, and it's more frantic than the yellowlegs. More likely in the water, but sometimes on the land, and show dark and light patterns on the wing. Stripes, pale stripes down the back and on the wing. The reason why, even though this sandpiper was swimming close to the right size shape, was conscious that it was not phalarope.
I'm doing okay. We'll go a little bit longer. I think that's not a bad idea. We're going to do a little walking, everybody. Okay.
It was nice that somebody called me the sandpiper to come in close.
Absolutely.
Such an odd behavior.
And that's the species, you know, we saw last week at Van Dyne Spoor that we had. It was just
one that was just a lump.
Yeah, it was just hunkered down, and you saw it very poorly. So it was nice to have a much better look today.
Yeah. That time, while you were looking at it, I had seen it through my scope, and I thought it was just a piece of, a lump of non-bird at first.
We just startled a bird.
Greenland teal?
It looked like a mallard to me.
I think you might be right. It was okay. All right. I did not see it well.
I didn't see it well, but I'm guessing it was mallard. And
okay. But anyway, and then I heard you saying, I've got a bird, I don't know what it is, and I felt bad, but I was on something else, and then I think I even looked at
the camera screen.
Your camera at one point.
Oh,
I still couldn't tell what
it was tough to see. I mean,
I looked at your video yesterday, And from that, I could identify it as a semi-palmated sandpiper because it was very pale across the breast and face. The bill was about the length of the head, straight bill. So that said, it was not a plover, which was also eliminated by the fact that it didn't have the double stripe of a killdeer or the single dark stripe of a semi-palmated plover.
Hold on one moment. What's going on over there? I see something. May have been ducks that were in flight. They're too large to be shorebirds. Okay, while you're looking at that, I'm going to look at the egrets a little bit because of favorable lighting. You know, oh, more ducks. Oh, really? Well, all of a sudden, I know, but I'm hearing killdeer, and I can't believe it's because of us. I know, but I just get the.
Didn't seem like they were playing it.
Okay. Walking against ocean. Are they blue-winged teals?
They tailor towards the bill. And they're scaly right back to the tail. They're small and they're brown and black bills. And if they get nervous and take off, I think you're right. I bet we will see a big blue wing patch.
I doubt you can even hear what Dave is saying, everybody, because of the wind, but those look like blue-winged teals to us. Oops, lost them.
They're swimming around near the shore.
It's just
small brown ducks.
And there's something that just bopped its head. I think it's a turtle.
So yeah, one of the things we talked about previous weeks was how the blue-winged teal, when the females and the eclipse plumage males have just a wee little hint of that big white crescent that the male in breeding plumage has between the bill and the eye, in that the face that is paler. The feathers on the cheek become pale right near the bill on the blue-winged teal in this female and eclipse plumage male plumage. And also the feathers on the side and back, they look very scaly. And
we saw.
Showed you some of that sky blue on the wing. Anyway,
I think we're freaking them out.
The feathers going back to all the way through the tail. There isn't any prominent.
I'm turned away from them. I don't want to freak them out, just in case they interpret my scope as an eye. But nice to see them. Okay. They might. They might. I hope not, but they might.
I was trying to turn them into
Oh.
the dike. It's
Oh, I see it. Great, a northern harrier there. It's not very close, so I'm not going to really try to, and it's getting farther.
the same one that we saw earlier. Over there, you see the white bird in the bush just beyond the dike?
Uh-huh.
I think that could be an adult black-crowned night heron. They often roost in those trees.
Well, is it a great egret?
And seeing the black feathers just above and to the right, the black back. I don't know if it's worth.
Well, I'm looking at the harrier in the air right now, just for the moment.
Oh,
That harrier is just gorgeous.
as it comes to the left, now, see that great egret?
Well, I'm still on the harrier, sorry.
It was just in the background of the harrier. One of the neat things about harriers is the face, it looks a lot like an owl's face.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually, I think it's a functional thing in that it's helping to focus sound to their ears. And as they're quietly flying over a field or a marsh, they're listening
They're amazing.
for prey. Okay, it's coming back on the right. And it's
Oh.
perched on top of a tree in
Which-
a rather hidden place. Want to have a look at the great eagle? No, the harrier's up again. So,
Just when I was zooming in to get it. Where'd it go?
it's way down along the dike, and
Yeah, okay, I'll let it go. Now, as for the egret
egret, which is
preening,
preening in one of these bushes. If you focus in on that tightly, not too tightly, because just
oh,
to the right, there's another bird hiding in there. It has a black back and gray wings.
and you think that's a black-crowned night heron?
It's a black-crowned night heron, which is in there facing away from us. And its body, black-crowned night heron is a pretty substantial bird. It doesn't have the long legs,
Right, but
long
it's
neck of a
stocky.
egret, but the body is about the same size, I guess. I mean, that's what I'm getting from this. Because as I said, the black-crowned night herons, they like to roost in these small round trees along
Mm-hmm.
these dikes.
There are some shorebirds flying around to our right. No, to our right, look.
Oh, okay.
Seem to be on the smaller side.
Yeah, I think that's probably mainly semi-palmated sandpipers. There might be a couple of roost among them. Come back in the Knox Marcellus, and they're sort of. We were looking in Puddler Marsh just now, and now the shorebirds have come back into Knox Marcellus Marsh.
Okay.
Sort of roaming around. They're not fleeing anybody at the moment. They're considering whether and where to.
I have a tree in my way, I can't see them. Oh, and more over to our left. Over Puddler, and now flying. It looks like they're going to also go over Knox Marcellus. There they are. Oh, shoot. I still see them. I don't see them. I don't see them. And I don't, you know, maybe I missed it if they took off, but I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to keep walking? We have a few more minutes. The aromas, everybody, haven't gotten any better.
A lot of fish died here.
Quite honestly, you know, through much of the summer, despite the fact that things were dry, it seemed like there was a fair amount of water here. You know, often I would come here and we'd say, boy, you know, maybe, you know, granted we were looking from, you know, the East Road, but it looked like there was too much water almost. Of course, that wasn't really shorebird season. Turkey vulture in the air. Looks like a different one from the one we saw earlier. Should we, hold on one second. What's that? Okay, it's gulls mostly. You know, quite honestly, I don't know if walking much farther is going to help us in terms of shorebirds. I may be wrong about that, but okay. Walk a little bit farther.
We've already played our hand for shorebirds.
I just
Sometimes
did.
there's an interesting
Well,
bird or two that hangs out there.
look at the ones that we saw. That flock that was, you know, over in Puddlers and then made its way over. So you never know.
I think those were largely
Semi-palmated.
sandpipers. And they were still circling around and gathering more members, and I'm not sure if or where they've landed, but I have a feeling it's pretty far back from here.
A lot of egrets here today. Great egrets.
We have a couple of, we're getting closer to the trumpeter swan, and they're swimming away from us. They're a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I don't want to bother them.
I think they're okay. I mean, they're big birds, and they're just, they're okay. Let's try going just past this bush down here.
Okay, and then
Have a look. It's not too much. Fragmented.
I am, you know, I'm gonna end my session here pretty soon. Although I think it's been rewarding. We've seen quite a bit.
Who knows whether there'd be anything different or additional on the way back.
Possibly.
But we've had a very good run today. Sounds like mallards taking off there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It looks like just before this next bush, we've got pretty good vantage.
Okay.
The trumpeter swans are actually up on their,
You know, I wouldn't mind taking a look at them
yeah.
just for a moment. All of a sudden, some herons have taken off. Several of them at once. I don't know why. Yeah, it might have been. Might have been you.
There's still a lot more standing around. Canada geese
Trumpeter swans.
walking around grazing. Checking more upland areas, the more drier areas of the body.
Oh, got a flock flying around. Right.
It's trailing out, whereas the others don't.
They all just, I think just about all of them just landed, so. Oh, here they go again.
Look at you. That sounds like a greater yellowlegs.
And I did see what looked like maybe a greater yellowlegs in and amongst these smaller shorebirds, which are out of my view. That bush didn't help. Oh, here they come back. Hold on, I'm on a flying flock of shorebirds. Oh, well, they're right nearby. Shoot, didn't get them. But they are. If they come back. Let's see. I'm sorry?
I think it was mostly semi-plumbing.
Okay. Same ones we saw earlier.
Yeah.
It is. Like, I mean, if you look at, even though they're farther away, beyond, straight out from beyond the trumpeter swans, like their egrets there, they're nicely lit because they've got that green background, light green. Right. Well, the one with the yellow bill, I see it now. Facing away from us, unfortunately. Right? No. Well, yeah. This one is just sitting on the ground. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Herring gull? Okay. Oh, am I looking at it now? Maybe. It's standing and preening. Okay, I think I do see it. Yeah, they're a lot smaller too. Yep, there it is. Beautiful. Another herring gull. shorebirds flying around a little bit. They must have landed. I don't see them. Look at the trumpeter swan on the left. It's yeah.
It's walking.
Yeah.
It's rocking because it's trying to walk. And it's
Getting all muddy.
itself and leaning as it. Itself into some ambiguous territory. Is it solid or is it liquid?
Mess up those beautiful feathers.
Walk mainly. That's it. Just flying around. I'm sure there's a bear in the center. But they're going.
Where? Okay. I wonder if I have this in my way.
Well, that was where I lost them behind that bush on the which side. Probably on my bush. Just one larger bird.
Wait a minute. Wait. You see where there is a concentration of, there are 5 egrets, 5 great egrets. On the left edge of them, there's some shorebirds there. And the rightmost bird, until the one that walks is walking, and there's one that's, facing left. Yes, what is that? And there's another one walking along. Well, what are we looking? What are the larger birds? Are they greater? Are they greater yellowlegs? Oh, okay, there he goes. Did you see it? The one that's preening and dealing with its belly.
Probably that's a lesser yellow leg furthest right.
You think so?
The others, the two next to it.
I don't know. Its proportions don't seem quite right.
Ring-billed gull.
I don't think the proportions seem right. Okay, I'm looking at. There's a gull that's preening, and then to the right of that, there's a bird. The 5th bird. What is that small bird? It doesn't seem like lesser yellowlegs. I may be wrong.
That's kind of what I'm guessing. I mean, I saw the yellow legs on it.
Okay.
The others aren't
But
quite the same.
Body doesn't seem to have that same taper. Okay, walking to the right, in front of it was maybe a greater, but oh, now everybody moved around. Uh-oh, somebody's hopping. I'm not happy about that. Hopefully there's no injury involved there. I hope that's what it is. Well, now I don't know where that bird is that I was looking at. Oh, maybe, is that it coming back?
You know, if you want, we can try to bring it back and get closer.
You know, let's do that. We might as well. But I don't know. Something didn't seem quite right. Okay, let's take a walk and see if we can get closer as you suggest. Since we have to head back. Well, I have to head back anyway. I don't know about you, but a lot of people up there. Yeah, the viewing area is pretty full. So everybody, not that we want to do this because it's wrong, but we're going to look up at the people quickly who are stuck, not able to see what we can see. Look at a lot of people up there, and we're lucky enough to be able to come down here. This is, again, we're in a restricted area and we have permission to be here, so, and that's important. You know, I would never want to come here without permission. Ready to walk or no? It's up to you. If you're not, you're not. Okay.
There's a dozen people up there, and they have masks, and they keep a distance from one another.
Okay. Okay.
They're plotting what to do with us when we come back.
Could be. Maybe they're checking me and seeing I'm not wearing a mask. Oh no, he's coming back.
And here we are, relying on a few feet between us.
Well, the wind is blowing actually in a direction that takes, you know, anything I breathe out backwards. Pretty much. Well, maybe not. No. Thing is, it's actually a warm day, which tends to not be good for the virus itself. You know, the warmer temperatures are not favorable for it. It does, you know. And sunshine is not good for it either. Which is a surprise, given the forecast. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. You're right. I think you're right. I think it is. Are they still there? I'm going to look at the binoculars first. Okay, there's a line of them. I don't know if they're the same ones. Okay. Yeah, there is one that's hopping. But behind... Yeah, I think there's one that maybe... Do you see the one that was running to the left? Or no, I don't know how to describe it. There's an egret that looks like it's maybe it just struck the water to the left of that, and you know, and there's a greater yellowlegs walking just past it. And now we've got a couple small birds. There's an egret that has its head, it just struck, and in front of that there are two smaller birds. Can't say I'm getting a great look at either one, but well, I'm now looking at the bird, and the wind isn't helping. The bird I'm looking at has its head tucked back. Pardon? I'm sorry? Yes. 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 Okay, but that small bird doesn't look right proportionally or size-wise to be a lesser yellowlegs. You may be right, but like right in front of it, that just walked in front, wasn't that a lesser yellowlegs? You may be right. Well, you may be right. Maybe it is a lesser yellowlegs. It just somehow, to me, looks different. Should we keep going? I don't think we're going to get a much better look from here. Well, true. But the angle's not going to improve. Hold on, everybody. Sorry, everybody. Uh-huh. have the dowitchers in view?
Yes.
Right.
So, this one,
The gulls, okay.
come from the right edge and go in the other. They go up. This is
Okay,
and the dark one.
I've got them, I think.
Their bill's down in the water a lot of the time. But when you see them pull their bill up,
They're probably the same two that we saw earlier. Sorry about that wind, everybody. It's official, the wind hates us. One second. I'd love to, but no, I'm not. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. All right. If yeah, there's this one, looks like it's one, I don't know what they are. I see some, okay, I think I probably, all right, the gulls, to the left of the gulls, there's a small grouping of shorebirds.
In the shallow waters?
Yeah, shallow water, I would say. And then there's a green, leafy...
Yeah, we've got a spray of like one single cattail or
okay.
something like
And I thought I saw a small bird that was behind it. I don't know where it is now because I looked away.
Okay.
But it may have been something a little different. Maybe it was semi-palmated.
Okay, of the birds that are near that green spray of long leaves.
Okay.
There is towards us and a little bit to the left, fairly, large relative to the others, a bird which is poking its bill down. It's a gray bird, and I believe that is a stilt sandpiper.
Okay.
When it brings its bill up, it's not as ridiculously long as the dowitchers.
Okay.
There's another stilt sandpiper just passed.
Okay. What's behind them?
And then there's a brown bird which is resting right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a pectoral sandpiper.
Pectoral sandpiper, okay.
And in between them, there is a semi-palmated sandpiper.
Okay.
A shorter bill. Its belly is right up against the water again. It's just legs not up against the water. It's maxed out further back to the
To the right of the splayed cattails or whatever, what is that kind of stationary? Yes. Pectoral sandpiper, okay.
So its body is similar in size to the stilt sandpiper, but the legs are shorter, the neck is shorter, the bill is shorter, and it's brown
know if I'm going to be able to keep all these shorebirds straight, to be honest with you.
It's okay. It's concepts.
Sure. I think it's a good problem to have, given, you know, because we've seen so much, a pretty decent variety today, so. Certainly better than last week here. Pardon me? Okay, let's see if I can find them again. Can't even hear what I'm thinking. I see one of the dowagers. Oh, and that might be the other one. Okay. One of the dowagers is just standing there, correct? And the other is feeding? Am I right about that? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm looking at a still sandpiper. Correct. Okay. Well, I might see one feeding the dowager. I don't know if I see the other dowager. Okay. There are two birds between them? Okay. Short-billed dowager. Okay.
But what we're seeing is
So everyone, the two dowagers are on the right. The still sandpipers are on the left, and they're grayer. Not sure if you're hearing. Okay. Oh, yep. You're right. 3. Is there a fourth to the? Well, no. Those are. Yeah, those are grayer yellow. Okay. Quite honestly, I don't know if we're going to see much more on our way back. I mean, yeah. Okay, let's go. Yeah, this one is. really something, and I apologize, everybody, but there's not much I can do about it. Sibley guide?
Sibley guide to the birds. And, I know it comes in different versions. Eastern United States. Those are smaller books in theory to get a copy. I've got one.
Okay.
One of the neat things that this guide does, in addition to showing profile, line is above, line is below, trying to depict what most of the plumages is farther.
Oh, okay.
Which is great. An awful lot of beginning of each section of the book, there's a plate that shows all of the species in the group.
Oh, okay.
They're over next to that culvert.
Oh, okay. I didn't see, I was looking at something else, I think, but which proved to be nothing, but okay.
But anyway, so you get to a new section of the book, and there's a picture.
Oh, there they are.
Plate that shows all of the species.
Okay.
But it's a helpful way to familiarize yourself with the relationships
Sure.
And on those places, you also have the page number where you can reference the actual, all the information. Dull plumages on that plate.
Oh.
So if you had the plate which has the cardinal on it, it's showing the female cardinal.
Oh, okay.
Anything which has a breeding plumage versus a non-breeding plumage, it's the non-breeding plumage which is shown there, or it's the female plumage, but it really helps you tune in on shape, and size. Very basic color pattern, rather than being distracted by
a bright. Yeah, that's.
You might miss.
Might make sense.
Which can be hard to see sometimes. Sometimes birds are backward. The two things as birders say, the two things which are worst to try and use are size and color.
Really?
Identifying a bird.
Yeah.
Because they're each really subject to illusion and.
Yeah, you're right.
If you've done photography, if you've done painting, try to figure out what color something is, and it all depends on, well, where are you in relation to the sun?
Yep.
And how far away is it? And what is it next to? Color is surprising. How many mental adjustments you have to do to figure out what color. So having an idea of what the possibilities are by using shape
and
behavior can really help you in the right direction.
Well, even like earlier when you were speaking about, you're comparing large birds to smaller birds, and how, for instance, the smaller birds typically have to have faster wing beats.
Yes.
Like it or not, that is a behavior, and it just shows you how important you know, how important that all is. And, you know, sometimes that's all you have. You can't see, things are backlit, you can't see the color. You need the shape, you need the behavior. Obviously, you know, location is helpful too, but, you know, all those things. So relying too much on color and size, you're right, you're making a mistake if you do.
Well, it's just that it's a useful thing, but you have to know whether you actually have the information available.
Right.
So for that grading yellow light that was out there, it was all by itself, and it was so prominent in the view that, you know, you look at it and think, wow, that's huge. And yeah, it's a big bird, but how big? Well, it actually isn't bigger than the other grading yellow light. It's just there's anything around. So it looks more prominent. So that was an instance where we had to look at.
Do you think we'll be stopping again for more viewing, or no? I mean, should I shut off the broadcast?
Well, good, but I will tell you that the best look at a Baird sandpiper I had
okay.
in the area up there.
Okay. If you think it's still around.
On our way in, so
okay.
I don't know. I can't predict it, except that I'm
Tell you,
going to spend the time
I am gonna shut everything down, everybody. And if we do see the Bairds, I'll just record and then we can share it later. But let's shut down. What time is it now? It is 10 after 2. So let's say, well, maybe between let's say 2:40 and 3 o'clock. I hope to restart, everybody. Okay? 2:40 and 3 o'clock. Thank you, Dave. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you all in a little while. Bye-bye.